Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today. We're diving into a coin that's part of the early days of the U.S. state quarter program, a coin you might just have hidden away in your collection or lying forgotten in your change jar. Yes, today we're talking about the 1999 Connecticut state quarter, a coin that, while once circulating widely, has now become a highly sought-after piece for collectors. Now, when we think about coins from the late 90s, they might seem like they don't have much value, especially when we're talking about coins that have been used in circulation. But let me tell you, the 1999 Connecticut state quarter is no ordinary quarter. If you take a closer look at this coin, you'll see why collectors are paying top dollar for it. The 1999 Connecticut state quarter was the fifth coin released in the U.S. Mint's 50 state quarters program, which celebrated the 50 states with unique designs that reflected each state's culture, history, and landmarks. The Connecticut quarter is one of the most visually appealing designs in the program. On the obverse, it features the familiar portrait of George Washington, while the reverse side showcases the famous charter oak tree. The charter oak is a symbol of Connecticut's fight for independence and the state's role in the formation of the United States. In fact, the tree was so important that it became a symbol of liberty for the state, and its story is deeply embedded in the region's history. The design of this quarter beautifully captures Connecticut's rich heritage, making it a must-have for collectors who appreciate both the artistry and the historical significance of U.S. coinage. So, why is the 1999 Connecticut state quarter so valuable? Most of the time, these coins are worth just 25 cents. But here's where things get interesting. The real value of a coin comes down to its rarity, condition, and any minting errors that may have occurred during production. And trust me, the Connecticut quarter has some features that make it stand out and drive up its value. One of the main reasons this coin has caught the attention of collectors is the rarity of well-preserved specimens. You might think that because the quarter was issued in 1999, it's a relatively recent coin. However, as time goes by, the number of uncirculated and flawless specimens diminishes. Many of the 1999 Connecticut quarters that were released into circulation have been worn down, scratched, and tarnished from years of handling. The ones that survived in pristine condition, however, are highly coveted by collectors. If you've got a 1999 Connecticut quarter that looks as good as the day it was minted, without any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, you've definitely got something special on your hands. But the value doesn't just stop at a coin in perfect condition. Like many other rare coins, the presence of minting errors can make this quarter worth a small fortune. Minting errors are mistakes made during the coin's production process, and those errors can make the coin far more desirable and valuable to collectors. And believe me, there are a few errors that can elevate the value of your 1999 Connecticut quarter significantly. One of the most valuable types of minting errors is the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck multiple times by the minting die, causing the design to appear doubled. If you look closely at the lettering or other features on your Connecticut quarter and notice that they look blurry or appear twice, like a ghost image, you might be looking at a double die error. These types of errors are highly sought after, and coins with this mistake can sell for a significant premium. Collectors are always on the lookout for double die coins because they're not only rare but also unique. No two are exactly the same. Another error to watch out for is the misaligned die error. This happens when the coin die used in the minting process is slightly misaligned, causing part of the design to be off-center or missing. If you come across a 1999 Connecticut quarter that's not perfectly aligned or shows a design shift, you may have found another gem that can fetch a higher price. The misalignment adds character to the coin and makes it stand out from the others. Then there's the clip planchet error. This occurs when the metal planchet, the blank disc used to mint the coin, is improperly cut, leaving part of the edge missing. If your 1999 Connecticut quarter has a jagged or uneven edge, you might have a clipped planchet, which is considered a rare and valuable mistake. These types of errors are highly prized by collectors because they're so unique. But here's the kicker. Even without minting errors, a pristine 1999 Connecticut state quarter could still be worth more than you might think. Coins that have been carefully preserved in mint condition, free from wear, and protected from the elements have the potential to bring in significant value at auction. Collectors are always eager to add high-quality examples of state quarters to their collections, and the Connecticut quarter, with its stunning design and historical significance, is at the top of many wish lists. So, how much can a 1999 Connecticut state quarter really be worth if it's in great condition or has one of these minting errors? Prepare yourself because this coin can be worth a lot more than you expect. A 1999 Connecticut state quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error can be worth as much as $62,000. That's right, $62,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that something so small and seemingly ordinary could be worth so much. If you have one of these quarters tucked away, it's definitely worth taking a second look to see if it's in mint condition or if it has any errors that could boost its value. Even if you don't have a 1999 Connecticut quarter, keep an eye out for one when you're searching through change or checking out collections. You never know when you might find that hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. Top 2, we're talking about a coin that many of you might have heard of, but don't fully appreciate its true value just yet. Today, we're diving into the world of the 2006 Colorado State Quarter, a coin that's more than just a part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. It's a piece of history with a lot more value than you might expect. The 2006 Colorado State Quarter is a part of the series that celebrated the beauty, culture, and history of each of the 50 states. This particular quarter, showcasing the majestic Rocky Mountains and the breathtaking scenery of Colorado, is visually striking. The reverse side of the coin features a detailed image of the snow-capped peaks of the Rocky Mountains along with an image of a bugling elk, which is iconic of the state's wildlife. It's a coin that captures the natural beauty and wilderness of Colorado, making it a must-have for both collectors and nature lovers alike. But, like many other state quarters, it's not just the beauty of the design that makes the 2006 Colorado State Quarter valuable. It's the rarity, condition, and certain minting errors that make this quarter highly sought after by collectors. The first thing to know is that while millions of these quarters were minted, not all of them are created equal. Most of the quarters that circulated through the years have been used, worn down, and tarnished. But that's where the magic happens. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition can skyrocket in value. So, what makes a coin like the 2006 Colorado State Quarter so special? Well, first, let's talk about the rarity of the uncirculated specimens. A quarter that's been kept in perfect condition, meaning it hasn't been spent or handled too much, is rare in itself. Even though the coin was issued in 2006, over time, many have suffered from normal wear and tear. But the ones that have survived, untouched and flawless, have become extremely valuable. If you happen to have one of these quarters in mint condition, you're sitting on a small treasure. The better the condition of the coin, the higher its value. But it's not just the condition of the coin that determines its worth. Like many rare coins, the 2006 Colorado State Quarter has a few unique errors that can turn a regular coin into a fortune. These minting errors are what every serious collector dreams of finding because they make the coin one of a kind and incredibly rare. One of the most highly sought-after errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck multiple times and part of the design is duplicated, causing the image to appear blurry or double. If you take a close look at the 2006 Colorado Quarter, specifically at the inscription or any of the details in the design, and notice a doubling effect, you might be looking at a double die error. Coins with this error are extremely valuable because they are not only rare but also provide a unique, almost magical quality to the design. Collectors will pay a premium for these types of coins because they are often seen as a true mistake of the minting process. Another error you should look for is a misaligned die. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin isn't properly aligned, which can result in an off-center design. This can cause part of the coin's image to be missing or misaligned, which creates an interesting and irregular coin that is highly sought after by collectors. A misaligned die can make the quarter appear different from the rest, and that uniqueness drives its value up in the market. Also, coins with clipped planchet errors are highly valuable. A clipped planchet happens when the metal used to make the coin is cut improperly, leading to part of the edge being missing or jagged. This error makes the coin stand out as a true oddity and is something that coin collectors prize. If you happen to find a 2006 Colorado State Quarter with a clipped planchet, consider yourself incredibly lucky. Now, let's talk about the price. You might be wondering, how much could a coin like this really be worth? After all, it's just a quarter, right? Well, as with most rare and unique coins, the value can vary based on condition and errors. A perfectly preserved, uncirculated 2006 Colorado State quarter can easily fetch a good amount of money. However, if you found one with a minting error, or if you just happen to have a specimen that's in absolutely flawless condition, then you might be in for a much bigger surprise. Believe it or not, a 2006 Colorado State quarter can be worth as much as $78,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $78,000. That's a mind-blowing amount for a single quarter, and it's a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Who knew that a small, seemingly ordinary coin could hold such a high value? So, what does this mean for you? If you've got a 2006 Colorado State quarter lying around in your collection or tucked away in a jar, it might be worth a second look. Check for any minting errors, examine its condition, and make sure you're not overlooking a valuable piece of history. Remember, rarity is key, and even a small imperfection or minting mistake can make the coin worth far more than just a quarter. Top 3, we have an incredible find to talk about: the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter. Now, this is no ordinary quarter. It's a coin that might just be hiding in your collection, waiting for you to uncover its true value. If you're a collector or just curious about what makes certain coins so valuable, stick around, because this is one story you won't want to miss. Let's start with the basics. The 2008 Oklahoma State quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was designed to celebrate the unique history and culture of each state, with every state receiving its own commemorative quarter. For Oklahoma, the design is both beautiful and symbolic, reflecting the state's rich natural beauty and historical significance. The reverse side of the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter features a bison, a symbol of the state's wildlife, alongside a rider on horseback, a nod to the state's cowboy and Native American heritage. Above the design, you'll find the inscription, Oklahoma 1907, marking the year the state was admitted to the Union. It's a stunning tribute to Oklahoma's history, and for many collectors, it's a must-have piece in their collection. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this particular quarter so valuable? Well, like any rare coin, the value of the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and sometimes minting errors. While this coin was released in 2008 and millions of them were minted, not all of them are worth the same amount. In fact, most of the quarters that were circulated over time have become worn and damaged, which means they're not nearly as valuable as those that remain in excellent condition. Coins that were kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are incredibly rare, and that's where the value starts to grow. If you're lucky enough to have a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter that hasn't been spent or damaged, congratulations. You're already holding on to something special. The more flawless the coin, the higher the potential value. But here's where it gets really exciting for collectors: minting errors. These are the true treasures that can transform a common coin into something worth thousands of dollars. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, and while they're unintentional, they make the coin incredibly rare and highly desirable. For the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter, one of the most valuable errors to look out for is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing part of the design to appear doubled. For example, you might notice that the image of the bison or the text on the coin appears to be blurry or overlapping. Double die errors are incredibly sought after by collectors because they are so rare. If you happen to find a 2008 Oklahoma quarter with this kind of error, you could be looking at a small fortune. Another error to watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted to one side. Off-center coins are considered unique, and they're highly prized in the world of coin collecting. If you spot this type of error on your 2008 Oklahoma quarter, you're holding a coin that could command a premium price. And let's not forget the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the metal used to strike the coin is cut incorrectly, leaving part of the edge of the coin jagged or incomplete. While clipped planchets are relatively rare, they're highly valued by collectors because they give the coin a distinctive, one-of-a-kind appearance. If you find a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter with this error, you may have just found a treasure. Now, let's talk about what this coin can actually be worth. You might be surprised to know that a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter in mint condition, or one with a rare minting error, could be worth much more than face value. While most quarters are worth just 25 cents, the right combination of rarity and condition can skyrocket the value. In fact, a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter with the right minting error or in flawless condition can be worth as much as $73,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $73,000 for a single quarter. It's a staggering amount, and it shows just how valuable a rare coin can be. E.so. What should you do if you think you might have a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter that's worth a lot of money? First, take a good look at your coin. Check for any signs of minting errors. Look for doubled images, off-center strikes, or irregular edges. If the coin looks pristine and free from any damage, it could already be worth more than you think. And if you find an error coin, you might want to get it appraised by a professional to get an accurate valuation. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter is just one example of how something as simple as a quarter can turn into a rare and valuable treasure. So, keep an eye out for these coins, and remember that sometimes the value of a coin isn't just in the metal it's made of. It's in the history, rarity, and mistakes that make it truly special. Top 4, we've got a special coin to talk about. One that might be hiding in your pocket change or your collection right now. We're talking about the 2004 Florida State quarter. This coin is more than just a piece of currency. It's a rare treasure that has caught the eye of collectors worldwide. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this quarter could be worth far more than just 25 cents. Now, let's take a quick journey back in time to 2004, the year this quarter was issued. The U.S. Mint was in the midst of its highly successful 50-state quarters program, which began in 1999. This program featured a special quarter for each of the 50 states, each with its own unique design reflecting the state's history, culture, or natural beauty. Florida's design features the stunning image of a space shuttle launching into the sky, set against the backdrop of the Florida landscape. The words "Gateway to Discovery" are inscribed above, paying homage to Florida's critical role in America's space exploration programs, particularly with NASA and the Kennedy Space Center. While millions of these quarters were minted and circulated, there are certain factors that make the 2004 Florida State quarter stand out in the coin collecting world. So, what makes this coin so special, and why could it be worth much more than its face value? Well, the answer lies in a combination of factors like rarity, condition, and minting errors that collectors covet. Let's start with the condition of the coin. When a coin is freshly minted and remains in pristine, uncirculated condition, it's considered much more valuable than one that has been circulated or damaged over time. Unfortunately, most of the 2004 Florida quarters that were released into circulation have been used, worn down, or even damaged in some way. Coins that are kept in mint condition, free from scratches, dings, and discoloration, are much rarer and more valuable to collectors. But here's where things get really exciting for those of you who are serious about coin collecting: minting errors. These errors are the true hidden treasures in the world of numismatics. A minting error occurs when there's a mistake in the production process, causing a coin to be struck incorrectly. While minting errors are rare, they make certain coins incredibly valuable. For the 2004 Florida State quarter, one of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing part of the design to appear doubled. In the case of the Florida quarter, the space shuttle or the text on the coin might appear blurry or duplicated. Double die errors are a huge find for collectors because they are so rare. A 2004 Florida quarter with a double die error could be worth exponentially more than a regular coin in good condition. Another error to keep an eye out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be off-center or missing part of the image entirely. Off-center quarters are highly prized by collectors because of their unique and irregular appearance. If you find a 2004 Florida quarter with an off-center strike, you could be holding on to a rare and valuable coin. And let's not forget about the clipped planchet error. This happens when the metal used to make the coin is cut incorrectly, leaving part of the coin's edge jagged or incomplete. While clipped planchets aren't as common, they're still highly sought after in the coin collecting community. A 2004 Florida State quarter with this error could fetch a significant premium price. So, why are these errors and minting inconsistencies so important? It all comes down to rarity. The more unique the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Coins with these errors are considered one of a kind, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them because they're so difficult to find. That's why minting errors are so exciting. When you come across one, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Now, let's talk about how much this coin could be worth. While most of the 2004 Florida State quarters are worth just 25 cents, those with pristine condition or a rare minting error can sell for much more. A regular 2004 Florida State quarter in excellent condition might be worth a few dollars. But if you're lucky enough to find a quarter with a rare minting error, like a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth a fortune. The value of these error coins can soar, with some even fetching a price as high as $73,000. Yes, you heard that right, $73,000 for a single quarter. So, if you've got a 2004 Florida State quarter lying around, take a closer look at it. Examine it carefully for any signs of minting errors or imperfections that could set it apart from the rest. If you find one in pristine condition or with a unique error, you might just have a valuable treasure on your hands. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. A seemingly ordinary coin can be worth a small fortune, and the thrill of discovering a rare find is what makes this hobby so exciting. So, keep an eye on your quarters, and you might just stumble upon your very own piece of history. Top 5, we've got a special treat for you. Something that might be sitting right under your nose, just waiting to be discovered. We're diving into the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, a coin that might look simple at first glance, but actually holds some serious potential value. So grab your magnifying glass, because you're going to want to take a closer look at this one. Let's rewind to 2008, a year when the U.S. Mint was continuing its incredibly popular 50-state quarters program. Arizona was the 48th state to join the series, and its quarter features a design that highlights the state's stunning landscape. The coin shows a dramatic depiction of the Grand Canyon, a national treasure, with the sun setting in the background. Above the canyon is the phrase Grand Canyon State, which is a nod to the state's most famous landmark. At first glance, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter might seem like just another coin in the collection, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye. As with many coins, its value lies in factors such as its condition, rarity, and, believe it or not, errors that occurred during the minting process. And this is where the story gets exciting for collectors. Most of the 2008 Arizona State quarters that were released into circulation have been used and worn over time, which means they don't carry much more value than their face value of 25 cents. However, when a coin is kept in pristine condition, it can become a treasure for collectors. Coins that have been stored carefully and remain uncirculated, free from scratches or damage, are far rarer than those that have been in regular use. And that's the key to unlocking the real value of the 2008 Arizona State Quarter. But wait, there's more. One of the main reasons collectors are so interested in this quarter is due to a few rare minting errors that occurred during its production. Errors like these can make a coin incredibly valuable and are highly sought after in the numismatic community. One of the most notable errors on the 2008 Arizona State Quarter is the die crack error. A die crack happens when a crack develops in the die used to strike the coin. As the coin is struck, the crack leaves an impression, creating a unique mark on the coin. In the case of the Arizona quarter, the crack might appear across the design, often in places like the Grand Canyon or around the lettering. Die cracks are significant because they make each coin unique. No two die cracks are exactly alike. So a coin with a noticeable crack could be worth much more than a regular, unflawed quarter. Another error to look out for is the clipped planchet error. This occurs when a section of the metal planchet, the blank piece of metal used to make the coin, is improperly cut during the manufacturing process. This can result in a coin that has an uneven or missing edge, giving it a distinct and irregular appearance. A clipped planchet error can make a coin stand out among others and add significant value. Let's not forget about the off-center strike, which happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process. This results in the design being struck off-center, leaving part of the coin blank or with a design that's shifted toward one side. These off-center strikes are highly collectible because they are rare and make the coin visually striking, which is exactly what collectors love to find. These minting errors might seem small, but they can increase the value of a coin exponentially. For those of you who are familiar with coin collecting, you know that error coins are like hidden treasures. They're unique, they stand out, and they're often much more valuable than regular coins. So, what does this all mean in terms of value? Well, most 2008 Arizona state quarters are worth just 25 cents. But if you happen to have one in uncirculated condition, or if it has one of those rare minting errors, it could be worth much more. In fact, a 2008 Arizona state quarter with a noticeable minting error or in mint condition could fetch a staggering $65,000. Yes, you heard that right. $65,000 for a single quarter. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How do I know if I've got a coin worth that much? Well, the best way to start is by examining the coin carefully. Look for any signs of a die crack, clipped planchet, or off-center strike. And most importantly, check the condition. If your Arizona quarter is free of wear, scratches, and discoloration, you're on the right track. Coin collecting is all about the thrill of discovery, and the 2008 Arizona State Quarter is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can turn into something extraordinary. So, next time you're going through your change or rummaging through your coin collection, take a second look at those 2008 Arizona quarters. You might just have a hidden gem worth $65,000. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've learned something new about this incredible coin. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos about rare and valuable coins. Keep on collecting, and who knows, your next find could be worth a small fortune.